Yo, what's going on, fam? Fellow traders, investors, crypto maniacs, and Bitcoiners. Maybe we got a couple gold bugs in here, and that's all right too. Wherever you are, wherever you're from, I'm glad you're here. If you're not here during the live stream and you're watching the recording of this, I appreciate it so much. Sorry you couldn't make it out to the live, but maybe you'll be able to make it out to the next one. So what's up, fellas? It's your boy Daily Crypto in the house. Today we're going to be we're going to do a review of the DCA dollar cost average investing method. I'm going to use Ethereum. We got our boy Ethereum behind us. This pretty asset right here. I'll put myself to the corner in a moment. So we're going to be just looking at how the DCA strategy works, how it functions, and then we're going to take a look at making a 3COMMAS DCA bot to invest for you. So there's a whole bunch of different ways you can set up a bot with different triggers, your custom trading view alerts, whatever it's going to be. But just for the purpose of this presentation, I've got videos literally on every aspect of the DCA bots probably that you can think of. You know, everything from using custom webhook alerts, from the basics, every single step by step. So this video is just going to be a glued together version of all that. We're going to create a bot, and yeah, that's what we're going to do today. So if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask them at any time. I'll take a couple different breaks throughout this to check up on the comments. And we'll do that right now. We'll see who we got in the house. We got Ananya. He says, what's up? Boy Tamela says, greetings from SA. And Niaz is in the house during the live. Shout out Niaz. He's one of our supporters. Brother, thank you for being here. Really appreciate that you can make it out to the live this time, bro. Haven't seen you in quite a while in the live streams, but glad you're here. So let me put myself over into the corner. Sweet. All right. So now we're going to be doing here. Let me just try and scoot. Oh, that's out of the frame. Trying to stay in the frame for you there. All right. So what we're going to be doing now was we're just going to take a look at how the dollar cost average method works. So let's just say that, you know, for speculative purposes, trying to put this at 2,000. So here at 2,000, I know it's 2001. Let me just go ahead and change that real quick. So at the price of 2,000, let's just say that we purchased 2 ETH. All right, so right here we got 2 ETH, and the total price is going to be $4,000. Right? Buy 2 ETH for 4,000. Now obviously the price is going down. So when the price came down here, let's say that we wanted to buy more at 1,800. So I'll just try and move this down to 1,800 real quick. Be better just to type it. All right. So here at 1,800, we're going to buy 2 more ETH. Except this time, we're not going to pay $4,000 for them. We have spent 3,600 because they are 1,800 a piece. Right? 1,800 a piece, 2 of them. 18 times 2 is 36. So we have spent now 4,000 for 2 ETH here, 36 for 2 ETH here. And now let's just say when price came down to, we'll put it down, where's 1,600? Oh, I need one of these. All right, so now we'll say 1,600, pretty close. Okay, so here we have got 2 more Ethereum, but now we didn't pay 3,600. Each of them was $200 cheaper, so then we only paid 3,200 because these were 1,600 a piece, right? 1,600 a piece. So now we have a total of 6 ETH, right? Put that right here where we can all see it. And let me get my trusty calculator out real quick because I don't want to mess up that math. It's not incredibly difficult, but I'd rather not fuck it up. So we're going to add all those together. Okay, so we've spent a total of 10,800 for all these ETH, right? You see that right there. Now, if we divide this by how many coins there are, which is 6, Then we have an average purchase price now of 1,800. Sorry, missed the R there. Okay, so now we have 6 ETH, not for a total of, oh yeah, for 1,800. We spent this much in total, 10,800, and our average purchase price is 1,800 because that is what we spent in total divided by 6 because that's how many Ethereum we have. So now, whenever we made our first purchase, price was up here at 2,000. Price is now down here at 1,547. And we would have to see a retrace back to 1,800 in order for us to make a profit. So price is going to have to come back. You know, it could go further down, in which case we could DCA more. We could buy more Ethereum. We don't just have to keep buying two. If you buy, we'll see here in a minute, as if you buy more of the asset as it falls down, it helps you get a better take profit or escape goal. So if price comes down here, now we have to go back to this level to escape or be at least break even, and then anything above this is profitable. Whereas if we didn't DCA and we just bought 2 ETH up here and we just held on to it all this time without making any additional purchases, we would have had to wait for a price to come all the way back here for break even, and then just above for, you know, some profits. And that would have been, you know, possibly a 26% swing with no action. And this is the 1 hour time frame. You know, you can break this up with different assets and different time frames. You can choose if you're going to buy at different percentage deviations. If you're going to say, all right, I want to buy every time price deviates, it looks like that was 10%. And here's 11%. If you just want to buy every time it deviates 10% with, you know, additional coins, that would help your dollar cost average price be reduced by a greater value. So that way it becomes easier to break even on that trade position or even make profits on it. And so that's kind of what, you know, it'd be hard to do this if you had to look at the chart and do it all the time. You definitely can manually DCA positions, especially if you're losing out on one that's going bad. But that's kind of what a bot is for. So now that you know what a DCA strategy looks like, how someone could employ it, and remember, that's just one example. There's a bunch of different examples that we could use, but that's just a really, really quick outlook. The basic principle is you buy more of an asset as it goes down in value. That way, whenever it returns upwards in value, it doesn't have to travel as great of a distance to be profitable. Ken Laz says we made it, brother. So what's up, Ken Laz? You sure did. So now I'm going to be looking at 3COMMAS. If you don't have 3COMMAS, you can get a 3-day free trial. I think I have the link in the description below. I'm not sure. But if you've never seen it before, all you have to do is click over on this. I'm not going to talk about, you know, the dashboard, smart trade. Again, I've got tons of videos talking about all that too. I'll really break down everything on here. But today we're going to be looking at DCA bot. So to get here to this portal, you're going to want to come right here to DCA bot, click over on this, go to DCA bot, and then it'll load us up right here where we are. So I'm not going to go into too much technicals because I don't really have any bots running right now on this account, but we're just going to go create a DCA bot, and I'm going to walk you through the steps of creating a DCA bot so you can see what it looks like. So there's a couple different, I have a couple different exchanges plugged into this account, so we can choose from a couple different ones. I'll show you what it looks like to create a spot DCA bot and a futures DCA bot. So for now, we're going to keep things simple. I'm just going to go ahead and create a spot DCA bot. So we're just going to go ahead and name this just for YouTube tutorial. All right. So we are going to make a bot that can run, but if you don't know how to use bots, I don't suggest you just throw a shitload of money at this bot, especially not, you know, if this is your first time handling them. If you have some familiarity with bots and you're just here to gain a little extra insight on what some of the settings are, then hell yeah, maybe you can go for it. But this is definitely going to be a bot that we're going to want to, that is possible to use. And just for the hell of it, I'll use it for 1 week and we'll let you know how it goes. So if you don't make this with me, that's okay. You don't have to. If you do want to make this with me, we have a Discord. I'm pretty sure that's in the description too. So I'll share how it goes in the Discord. So the futures bot and the spot DCA bot. But first we're starting with the spot DCA bot right here. And whatever exchange you have that is plugged in, if you have connected multiple accounts or only one, you'll have to choose from right here. So right here, I know this is going to be a spot account, which is my Huobi account. And I'm sorry if I sound a little bit nasally. I'm coming over a little bit of an illness right now, actually, so I might have to mute the mic and take care of my nose here in a moment, but I'll try not to. So the main settings, and I have this organized in a way that I like to deal with it. So you can actually move these around. If you click this thing right here, you can move them to different locations. So don't be all whacked out if yours isn't in the same order as mine. I like to start with the main settings first, and I'll name it. Oh yeah, okay, let me just take care of that real quick. Alright, I think I got it. So the main settings here, we're going to want to name it. We're going to want to choose our exchange. And then we're going to want to choose the bot type, if it's going to be a single or a multi-pair. So single pair means it only browses one pair for the entry conditions. Multi-pair means it browses multiple pairs for entry conditions. So to keep it simple, we're just going to use a single pair today. And I'm going to go ahead and put this bot in BTC, USDT. I don't think I have any BTC in that spot account, so it's going to have to be a long bot. So we'll go ahead and make it a long bot. If it was a short bot, then that means it would be selling BTC because this is a spot account. If it's a short bot, then that means you own BTC and it's going to be shorting it on the way down, recapturing a profit after it buys back. If it's a long bot, then you have USDT, since this is the BTC USDT pair we selected, and we could have selected any pair that was available on the account. But I just went ahead with BTC and USDT, and we're going to go ahead and go long, which means you have the USDT, and it wants to take profit if price goes up. If price goes down, it employs safety orders. Remember when we were looking at Ethereum, price went down to 1800 and we bought 2 more Ethereum. That would be considered a safety order, right? Let me bring this back over here. So this right here, this is our initial purchase price, right? And we have a take profit goal of, let's just say this is going to be 0.45%, something real simple, or something that didn't get filled on this move. So let's say it was 1.7%. All right. So instead of hitting that take profit goal, it came down and it hit a safety order, and you can put a safety order at whatever percentage deviation you want. So this is going to be a safety order. This is going to be a safety order. If price went down further, that would be a safety order. We would employ more USDT to buy Ethereum. But right here, we're making a USDT BTC bot. So going long means when price goes down, there's safety orders on the downside. And we're going to go ahead and pick quote. So if we wanted to profit in BTC, you actually could do that if you want to. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it in quote right there. And it used to not show what pair was what. So you see here, if you change it even, it'll change right there now. So that's very nice. It used to not say that, which was confusing to some people. And then we're just going to go ahead and start order type is going to be market or limit. You can use different ones in different scenarios. I'm not going to say that anyone is better. I'm just going to say I've experienced some issues where I didn't actually get safety orders filled with limit orders. But market orders do have a higher fee, but they essentially ensure that they're going to get filled right then and there, whereas sometimes limit orders may not be filled. I don't know. So this is going to be a spot bot. It's not going to be a huge deal. We can use limit orders. Now here for the base order size, this is going to be the initial size that you have to open the position. So remember, whenever we took that first trade in Ethereum, we bought 2 Ethereum for 4,000. So that means our base order would be 4,000. We're not going to play that today. We're just going to go ahead and say that our base order here is going to be $15, because I don't really know how much is on this account. So I don't want to run into an issue while we're creating this bot. I think that's already going to be an issue there. Let me see if I can change that to 15. Cool. So I'm jumping down, and I jumped to the safety order size, and I made it 15 to see if I didn't get that bot error. Because right here I have an error. It says bot will use amount greater than you have on exchange. So it's going to tell me if I'm calculating with a bot that's not going to make sense, or it's going to run into issues. along the line with safety orders. So I'm just putting that to 15 real quick to eliminate that, and we'll come right back to where we were. So now that we've determined how much our base order is going to be, what type of order we're going to be using, how we're going to be profiting, and what direction we're going or strategy, then we're going to look for a deal start condition. So this is where things can be a little bit tricky, that they can get very interesting here. You can do all kinds of things. I will show you real quick a couple different methods here. So here is basic trading view, which is going to be time frames, buy or sell signals. So just for example, if you want to set this up on 15-minute, 1 hour, buy conditions, because we're looking for a long bot here. So the idea is to make profits very quickly, buy when price is trending upwards. So when we have a trading view, 1 hour buy signal. Now you can combine this with multiple time frames. So if you want, it works as an and here. So it has to be 1 hour buy and 15-minute buy and 4 hour buy, or whatever you want to do. You can put however many you want there. So then let's just say you also wanted to use, okay, now that I have so many of these on, it's not going to allow me to look at them all. So we can see CQS scalping and QFL scalping. So these are, both of these guys are external signals providers that made it, and happened to get lucky, I guess, and made a partnership with 3COMMAS. So you can choose one of these. I personally do not like to use either of them. I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, sometimes, yeah, no, I've actually never had profitable bots with these guys, but I'm not gonna knock them. I don't know, maybe I just wasn't doing something right. Here we have manually API. Excuse me. So this is what we're gonna want to use here if we have a custom trading view signal. So if we have a different alert out here in our trading view, let's just say, for example, if we don't want price to start until it comes over this line or something like that, we could set an alert, and we would have to get the webhook URL, which is, I don't have it on standby. I think I have it on another alert, but we'd get the webhook URL. Let me see where I have it. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to take this, which is the 3COMMAS webhook URL. I'm going to paste it right here. Hope that's right. Make sure. Okay, yeah, I missed some of it. Okay. Oh, no, it's all there. Alright, nice. So now that that's there, I'm just going to go ahead and put this on the back burner for a second, because we actually have to create the bot in order to get the message here. So I'm just going to put this back up top now. And we'll talk about some of the other settings real quick. So trading view custom signal, you can get the instruction right here. It's basically the same thing that I'm going to show you here. But we have to wait till the bot's created to get the messages, because they don't display right here. So once we create the bot, we can get the message, and I'll show you how to put that in real quick. But we're actually not going to use it to run this bot, else we wouldn't really get any deals done based upon the trigger that I have here, because this is just a trend line trigger, and I'm just going to use it to show you how to use a webhook. You can put it literally for any indicator that you have, any alert you want, any trend line that you put on your map. You can, as long as you have the alert to put there and you use the 3COMMAS webhook and copy and paste the message, how I'm going to show you in a little bit, you can use any webhook, or any trading view trigger. So anyway, moving forward, we have open new trade ASAP, which means basically this thing's going to open a new deal as soon as it closes one, regardless of what the market conditions look like. But we're not going to use that. We're just going to, for now, I'm going to have it on manually API. And then for our target profit, we are going to reduce this to 0.45, just so it can be, it can take reasonable profits from a sideways moving market, because I honestly think BTC is going to be going down here pretty soon. It's already been going down pretty hard, but yeah, so anyway, we're going to keep that really tight. You can make it even smaller if you want to. I think the minimum here is like what did it say? 0.05. Cool, so just going to keep it 0.45 anyway. So percentage from base order is where the take profit is going to finish the deal from. So if you have percentage from total volume, after safety orders get filled, then it's going to account for that and take profit off of those as well. Where if you have it percentage from base order, then it's going to try and take profit after it moves from base order. So like, remember how we were looking at Ethereum here, and it would have to go, we said price would have to go all the way up here. So then that 0.45 gold that we have would have to be right here above the base order. Whereas instead, after we filled all the way down here, you know, if we got this filled, it would have to be 0.45% from that 1800 level, which is right here. So if you leave it at base order, it's going to have to be from the base order that was taken. So just go ahead and put total volume so the safety orders are accounted for. And then you can use trailing deviation here for take profit, which I'll show you here with, I'm going to have to open another tab. I'll have to, okay. So I got a lot of stuff going on this Bitcoin chart. Let me just close everything over here. Okay. So the trailing take profit, let's just say that if we had, I'll go into a 5-minute time frame so this kind of makes sense. If we were starting a deal right here and price was going to go up to 0.45% right about here, and it's like, okay, boom, we would hit our take profit goal right here. But if we have this trailing deviation right here, so trailing deviation of 0.2% is going to be for this case, then that means if the price continues to go up until it deviates 0.2%, right? So if price goes up right here and it does a 0.15% pullback, comes right here, but doesn't deviate greater than 0.2%, then it's going to stay in the trade and it'll keep going up until there is actually a 0.2% deviation. So instead of making just a 0.45% take profit, could actually have made more than that whenever that deviation were to occur. So it could be helpful and it also could be hurtful. Let's just think about for a second. There was our initial take profit goal. So if price comes up in here and then trailing take profit is triggered, but price immediately goes 0.2% down right here, then we lose out on some of that take profit goal there and we get stopped out right here. So if it gets triggered and doesn't continue upwards enough to clear an additional 0.2%, then it's going to trigger and actually make you lose out. So whereas we were targeting 0.45, it becomes 0.25 now. So that's just, you know, that's how the cookie crumbles. It can be helpful and it can be hurtful in a way. So I'll move that back up there now. We're not going to use trailing deviation, but that's how it works. So we're going to take a quick pause. I'm going to drink some water, see what kind of questions you guys have. Spreading real valuable information. Fuck yeah. That's what I'm talking about, doggy. Oh man, do I need to move my head? My head's in the way now over here. Alright, yeah, I'll move my head over here. Oh, look, that works. Alright. No questions so far? We'll go ahead and keep it rolling. So then we get into a stop loss here, and you can use a stop loss if you want to. I generally don't use stop losses on my bots. But that basically means, you know, whatever price, we have a take profit target here of 0.45%, but the safety orders are going to account for the total deviation here. So let me just, we'll come back to stop loss in just a second, because I want to talk about the safety orders first, that way it makes sense. So whenever we have the safety orders here, we're going to decided that we're using $15 and the price deviation to open the safety orders percent from initial order, this is marked as 1%. So that means every time price deviates 1%, it's going to place a safety order, which means it's going to initiate an order of $15. Then we have the max safety orders count, which right now is 5. So we can see that our max safety order price deviation is 5%. So that means anytime we start a trade, the bot is only going to make safety orders for a total deviation of 5%. So we can get this value to change by different ways. We can change this to 2%, for example. Let me just type it in there. And now we have a total of a 10% deviation. Because instead of taking a safety order every 1%, it's now taking a safety order every 2%. Okay, so let me just back this up for a second. We're going to put it back to 1%. We're going to come over here to the table, and we're going to see right here. Okay, so from a 1% deviation, we now see how much price required change is going to have to be. So initially, we have a take profit goal of 0.45%, and that's what we're going. That's the total distance that's going to have to be covered is 0.45%. After we fill a safety order of 1% deviation, the total distance that has to be covered for a profitable move now is 0.95%. After a second safety order is filled at another 1% deviation for a total of 2% deviation, then it's going to need a total change of 1.46%. That's the total distance it's going to have to move in order to be profitable now. So if we change this really quickly back to 2 and then come back to this table, we can see that the figures are changed drastically, whereas this was what we needed on the third safety order because of that deviation that was met there. Now it's already there on the first safety order because it's a 2% deviation already. And we've eliminated that step in between. So now we can see here, this was 3% on the inside because it was just about 6% deviation. It was a 5% deviation with all the safety orders. And now we have a 10% deviation range. So that means it does cover a larger percent, right? If price were to fall 10% now, you would still be placing safety orders. Whereas in the last scenario, if price were to fall only 5%, you could only handle those safety orders up to 5%. Now you can handle safety orders up to 10%, but the distance that's going to have to move in between your purchase price and your take profit price is greater. So now let's just say we put this back to 1% and we include more max safety orders. So we're going to change this to 10. Now we can cover that whole 10% deviation, but we're using more money. So we're using, 15, excuse me, I have to cough, fellas. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, fellas. I've been sick I was sick yesterday and didn't wake up feeling too good today, but I can't cancel the stream on you. I would never cancel a stream. I would come to the stream if I were on my deathbed in my coffin. Just make sure it's an open casket and we're doing the fucking stream. Alright, so safety order size, they're $15. So we have the total balance of $91 with the base order and with 5 safety orders. Now if we change this up to 10, see it takes more money to operate this bot. But since we've added more safety orders, they're still 1% apart. We can cover a greater distance. We get that full 10% deviation. And now we're saying hello to that price move again. So how can we get this, right? The required change is going to be the most important detail here. We want this to be as small as possible all the time. We don't want it to grow because here we can see the total deviation now is 10%. So after a 10% downside move, we need 5.91% upside or 6% recovery. It wouldn't have to move that full 10%, but 6% is still asking a lot. So we want to keep that as low as possible, right? So how can we change that? We're going to be looking at the safety order volume scale. Now I'm sure I'm not going to be able to support this with what I'm going to show you, but here you'll see how much money it's going to require because I don't think I have more than like $500 on this spot account. But here, if we change this up, we can see here, now it takes a lot more money, right? So if I have it at 1, it's $166. If I change it to 1.5, it's $1,715. So this safety order volume scale amplifies the safety order every single time. So we go back to the table now and we can see that the first safety order is $15. It matches the base order. But then it was multiplied by a factor of 1.5. And again, it was multiplied by a factor of 1.5 every single time. So more money is put into it in each step, right? So now we can see how much money is involved in each step, the total amount of funds, right? So this is per safety order. This row is per safety order. And then here we can see the total amount involved after each safety order is added. And then again, we go back to the required change. Now where this was 5%, it's now 2.5%. So this is a little bit easier whenever we see a 10% deviation to get a 2.5% upside squeeze out of it. Now, let's just say, I always say that it's best to get up to 2 if you can afford it, but this is the most important factor right here. If you can afford to get one of your bots up to 2, and just to tone this down to show you what that looks like at the very base, very base, this is going to be a safe bot. If it's taking profits off the top, then it's going to be scalping really small percents. But whenever it fills up on these safety orders, you don't have to worry about getting stuck, and you're going to get a nice payday. So we'll go back to the table real quick on a 2%, and then we'll just see after a 10% deviation, we only need a 1.5% upside move. So that's not, that's not very hard at all. We can see that pretty easily. And you can change all of these factors to get different settings. So I'll move this back down to 1 real quick, and then we'll check our max active safety orders count. So this is how many are going to be active on the order book. So I like to match this with how many I have here, usually about 10. So you can put this on so that way whenever if you're using limit, if you're using market, it might behave a little bit differently, but if you're using limit, then you can go ahead and put it on, and that way whenever your base order is initiated, it's going to go ahead and put these on the order book, the max active safety orders count. So if you only have it to 1, then let's say your safety order gets filled and it activates another one. If you have it set to 2, then it basically puts 2 safety orders on. Once one of your safety orders gets filled, it puts another one on. So it always makes sure that there's 2 available. But sometimes when the markets move really quickly, like if we have this is a 5-minute chart. Oops, still have my paintbrush on. This is a 5-minute chart here, and you can see that move pretty quickly. So sometimes whenever you don't have those safety orders on the order book, they can not get filled at the exact measurement, and it can really mess up your calculations or even offset your take profit price. So you want to make sure that, you don't have to have it all the way up, but I like to match how many safety orders I have. So, and then the safety order step scale. So let's just say we're going to keep those 10 safety orders on there. And let's just say that we're going to change this now to 1.5. And so now we see, okay, our deviation is greater than 100%. We'll change it to 1.2. Okay, so when it's 1%, when it's 1, we have a 10% deviation. When it's 1.2, we have a 25% deviation. If it's 1.3, we have 42% deviation. So you might think, oh, great, I can extend the range whenever I need to go deeper than I'm expecting a greater fallout, like a 25% fallout. I can just go ahead and set that up there, and we're all fine and dandy. But if we go back to the table now, let's just see. Let me go ahead and take a look at 1 really quick, and then we'll see the table. So it's a 6.1% change at 10%. And if we say, oh, you know what, now I can cover 25%, well, here we can see where 10% would be. It's about that same change. But now once we get into a 25% deviation, it needs a 22% upside recovery. So that's not very plausible, unless you have, your safety order volume scale, which is where you combine different elements of this. Then we go back to the table, and it's actually not that bad. After 25% deviation, it needs a 5.9, about a 6% recovery, which I'm not going to say you can get 6% bounce after a 25% fall, but that's way better than what it was on the 1, right? So combining different factors of the safety orders are crucial elements here, because you can calculate everything mathematically. It shows you exactly what everything would look like if you were going to take those types of moves, or however you wanted to put it. But essentially, if you have safety order step scale without safety order volume scale, it's going to be harder to reach take profits. So we're just going to go ahead and leave that at 1. We're going to set this for 10. Now we're just going to cover that 10% deviation, and we're just going to leave all this here at the base, or except this was at 5. I moved it to 10. Move this up to 10, and I'll put that back to 15. So that way it can at least match my base order size. And you can do all kinds of cool stuff. I remember one time I was working with a bot that had a base order of 6,000 and safety order size of 2,000. So it was like a scout, primarily designed as a scout bot, So it could take profits off of that 6,000 base order, and if price started to go down against me, it would take longer to DCA out. But you know, that's just one way that you can make the bots. You can make them all kinds of different ways. And then we get here to about the end of the settings. We have don't start deals if the daily volume is less than. So we can basically see here if the trading volume is going to be less than 50 BTC, then we can say, all right, we don't want to start deals if the trading volume is less than 50 BTC or 500 BTC, 100 BTC. And in Bitcoin, you're probably not going to run into issues. But in some altcoin pairs, you know, if the trading volume doesn't meet a certain amount over the last 24 hours, then you might not want to be involved in that position because you get into an illiquid market. Give me just 1 second here, fellas. Okay. And yeah, we're just going to leave that one blank. And the minimum price to open deal. So if we're going to be looking at Bitcoin now, and let me zoom this out to the 1H. So if we're looking at Bitcoin and I'm like, yo, you know what? This long bot, I don't want this long bot to start deals if price goes underneath 20K. If the price of Bitcoin goes under 20K, it's probably going to crash lower. So, you know, I don't really want to be involved in that. So I'm just going to say don't start, minimum price to open deal is 20K, right? And then maximum price to open deal, let's just say that, you know, if Bitcoin comes up, if Bitcoin does some crazy ass pump and it meets here and then it breaks up, if Bitcoin comes up to 22K, then I want this bot to not take deals because it's probably overbought. You know, Bitcoin's overbought. So that's just a range that we can put for our bot to take deals. You know, it could be any asset. If it drops down below this price and you're not there to watch it to turn it off, it'll just not take deals. So cooldown between deals is once a deal is finished. If you have this set to, this works really well with if you have open new trade ASAP because then it'll have a cooldown before the ASAP is activated. But, you know, in any instance, once the deal is finished, whatever time you specify here is how long it's going to take to cool down. So if I had 180 seconds, that'd be 2 minutes. So if I had it to 60 seconds, it'd be 1 minute. So that's just a cooldown for once the deal is closed, whether it be if it was, oh, I need to show us the stop loss too. But once the deal is closed, you can see, all right, whether it was hit in a stop loss or in a take profit, it's just going to wait for 60 seconds to either look for new conditions or if it's an ASAP bot, then start a new deal. So we have open, start, deals, and stop. So this is basically if you only want like 100 deals or if you only want it to run 25 deals, you know, for data testing, and you can set it up for that. So however many you put here, this is how many deals the bot is going to run. So if you wanted it to run like 75, that's it. You just put 75. So here we have auto convert new deals to smart trade. Anytime you hover over that, it says that. So if you want, oh no. So this is like pretty useful. So if you have not, you don't exactly want the bot to do a DCA. So we have these conditions set up right here for dollar cost averaging. To get safety orders filled, if price deviates, if price goes lower after we buy it, we're going to be implementing more USDT to average out the entry price. If you don't do that and you just wanted to trigger like off a webhook, then you can automatically convert it to a smart trade. That way the bot is ready to look for another deal, for example. That's just one way that you could use this. You could use it for a lot of things. Basically, whenever the deal starts, it's automatically going to convert it to a smart trade. And we have close deal after timeout. So this one's pretty simple too. You can set to hours, minutes, or days. If you want it to be, you know, if this bot started a deal and after 5 hours, if it didn't take profit or hit a stop loss, then it would close automatically. Or if it were, you know, whatever, 60 minutes, you know, 1 hour, 75 minutes. If you want it to be 2 days, then 2 days from when the deal started, regardless of where it is in a profitable or a losing position. If there had not been a profit achieved or a stop loss hit, then it will just automatically close the deal regardless of where price is. So we're just going to go ahead and leave that off. And then remember when we came up here, I said we'd talk about the stop loss in a second. So now that we know our stop loss deviation is going to be 10%, or our max deviation that the safety orders can fill is 10%, we can have a stop loss now. So it should be below the last safety order, which is 10%, right? So now if we wanted this at, if we say, oh man, 10% gets filled and then price deviates 15%, well then, we're going to get out of the deal. We can go ahead, close deal, and stop bot, which means, obviously it's gone 5% more than we thought it was going to deviate. So maybe we don't want this bot to take another deal because price is going to continue to slam. Or maybe it is a good opportunity because price has gone so far down now and we can restart our deal where it's going to be scalping back up. Either way, we can take a look at the market and we can set it to close deal and stop bot if we want to be super careful, or just close deal. And if you set it to close deal, then the bot is going to look for another deal. So whatever conditions we have specified here, it would look for another deal. And when those entry conditions are met, it would take a position. All right, so that is everything on the spot DCA bot. So I'm going to go ahead and create it real quick. And then we're going to, I can start it because it takes a manual hook. So then we're going to scroll down. So here we have basic overview of everything that just happened, that we just created. And then we can see the message for deal start signal, right? Message for deal start signal. So remember, if we used a TradingView 5-minute buy or whatever, when TradingView screener gave a buy signal on the asset, then that means it would take the position. So let me see if I can find one real quick. Okay, yeah. So right here, just on the TradingView screener, this is BTC Bybit. I think we set up that bot for Huobi, but regardless, where's the Huobi chart? Okay, there. So now it's on Huobi. So you definitely want to make sure that the exchange you're trading on, that you've created the bot for, is using the exchange on TradingView for the trigger. So now let's just say that we can set it for literally whatever we have, whatever things that we have here. We can set an alert for our indicators, whatever indicators we wanted to use. Basic EMA cross, add alert for whenever a certain EMA crosses, then we can start the bot. Like for example, if the EMA cross, EMA 1, which is going to be the 9 for me, crosses the EMA cross 2, right? So the 9 and 26. So this red one, if this red one crosses the green one, let's just say crosses up. If the red one crosses the green one up, it's going to take a position. And we'll do once per bar close. So we want to make sure that a bar closes above that cross. And then we have the webhook URL, so I'm going to have to grab that again from, I think I can just click this one now. Sweet. Okay, so I didn't want to set it on Ethereum because that's not the asset. That's not the right asset or the right chart. So this is the right asset and the right chart. So now we're using the 3COMMAS webhook. Perfect. And it doesn't really matter here. We can put 3COMMAS spot bot YouTube toot. All right, and now here, this message right here, this is what we need. So we'll go right here for message for deal start signal, right? I'm going to show that and it's going to copy. We'll bring this back. And then here, I'm going to put that in. And now whenever this happens, because we could put this for whatever. Remember, we could put this for a trend line. We could put this for whatever the fuck. We could literally put this for whatever we wanted to. Any indicator that we have, the RSI, MACD, anything you could possibly set an alert for, you can get it to trigger a deal start condition for the bot. And then you create it, and then boom, sitting right here in our alerts. So now whenever, this is the 1 hour time frame. So now whenever the 9 crosses up on the 26th, it's going to start a deal. Right? Oh, here we go. Move that back up there. Yeah. So now, the same thing could happen if I wanted to. Let's say that the red and the green crossed up, and whenever they cross down, I could set another alert for that. Same way. Add an alert right here. So EMA crossing, EMA 1 crossing down, EMA 2 once per bar close. Right, and then here I'll get the message close order at market price. And that's basically gonna close the deal, right? So then I can come over here and copy and paste, and now I create that. So this one is going to trigger the bot start, and this one is going to close the deal at market price, regardless of whether we have filled that 0.45% or whatever safety orders we filled in, doesn't matter. So the safety order, so you don't have to do it that way. You don't have to have it. If I turn that alert off, then nothing's going to happen, right? I'll pause the alert. So now it's not going to stop whenever that happens. But it's going to either stop only whenever I have a 0.45% take profit from the total volume of all the safety orders filled, or in this instance, we have put a stop loss of 15%. So price deviates an additional 5% after our total 10% deviation that is plotted and covered for with safety orders, it'll close out. But if I wanted to, have that other trigger for a close, or if I wanted to draw a trend line on here, and if I'm like, oh, you know what, if price goes to whatever value, or literally whatever, then I can get it to start or stop at a TradingView signal, custom signal, just like that. So if you have a cool strategy you want to automate, that's the way to do it. If you have, whatever, if you have a way that you constantly make money, you automate the entries and exits. A good way to do that is the 5200 EMA crossover, just for example. Or, in this instance, I showed the 926 EMA crossover. So that's a spot bot in a nutshell. Whenever we talk about, I'm going to make a futures bot really quick too. We're going to talk about that. Some of the principles, a lot of the principles are going to be exactly the same. We're just going to talk about the leverage factor of it. Okay? So everything's going to be literally exactly the same. You can, make custom triggers. You can do whatever you want to do. Everything can be literally exactly the same except for the leverage part. So we're going to talk about that. But I'm going to take a drink of water right now. If we have any questions, then we can get those questions answered. Picture is blurred. My picture's blurred? Oh, man. Oh, my picture's not blurred. Yes, I'm sorry. Let me see here. Ananya says there was no stop loss because it's a spot bot. Yeah, I mean, generally, especially if it's a spot bot, I don't really have stop losses on there. I just wanted to show for the example, for illustrative purposes, how to use a stop loss and how it has to be lower than the deviation for your stop loss has to be lower than the deviation that your safety orders cover. You can't have a 5% stop loss if the safety orders cover 10% move. So, And Niaz says, okay, now it's okay. Perfect. Sorry about that, brother. Crypto Slot says, what's up, bro? What's up, Crypto Slot? Yeah, if anyone has any questions about our bot presentation, go and ask them now. Looks like my girlfriend's on lunch. I'm going to shoot her a quick text, tell her I love her, and we can move into the futures bots. All right. Told my girlfriend what's good, and drink my water. All right, so we're going to go ahead and come back over here, create a DCA bot. And remember, you click this little bot icon, or you can open up the tab here and see what everything says. But if you want to just click that little bot, it'll take you here. You can go to create DCA bot. And then we can come right here. So now we are on Bybit USDT Perpetual. I don't think I have that much in that one either. So we'll go ahead and come to the CU account. We're going to use BTC again, right? So we're going to name it CU account USDT long bot futures. Tooth. All right. And then don't think on Bybit that you can run a multi-pair. On some futures exchanges, this futures exchange is Bybit. On some futures exchanges, I'm not going to say you can't because I don't know. You might be able to run a multi-pair on Binance, for example, futures. I don't know. Maybe you can't. Maybe that's only for spot bots. But here we can only run a single pair. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to not use 1000 NFT, whatever the fuck that is. We're going to go ahead and use Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin is the bee's knees. Now we're going to be able to go short here because we don't have to own the asset. We don't have to own the assets in order to short in a futures market. So we can go ahead and create a short bot if we think the price of Bitcoin is going to go lower. I'm going to show you a really tight scalper bot configuration, and we're going to show you how to set it up so that way you don't experience liquidation either. Now, if you're running a short bot, you can always experience liquidation. If you're running a long bot and you adhere to the anti-liquidation guidelines, then you cannot experience liquidation. The price of the asset would have to fall to zero. In any event, if you hold the trade open long enough for so many days to where the fees bite into it and price deviates greater than 50% on the asset, there's a chance you could run into liquidation, but it would have to take at least 90 days for you to use that much fees, percentage wise, in order to run into liquidation. So let's just be careful about taking longs that may be open for longer than 90 days, but you should not really have any positions open longer than that in a future scenario. And on short, you would have to see a 100% fall. In short, you can definitely see that because let's just say right now Bitcoin's at 20K, it goes up to 40K, that's 100%. So that would, if it goes greater than that, it would liquidate you, even if you're using the anti-liquidation guidelines. So we're just going to go ahead and say here, right here, the leverage is not specified. Just going to go ahead and put cross because it's going to make it a little bit easier to calculate. And right here, I'm going to turn the base order size down. Let me go ahead and put this up really quick. So we'll use 10x for our first example. So I think it's not going to show that because I have that covered up right there. So if it were 10x right here, the percent of total balance to be used by the bot would have to be no greater than 10% in order for a long bot to not experience liquidation. So now what that means is if you had two bots running 10x leverage and they're both long bots, the total balance to be used by the bot could not exceed 5% because two bots using 5% of your balance is 10%. So now if you wanted to run 5 bots at 10x, all of them would have to be 2% or less in order to not see liquidation, right? So the total amount of all the bots you have running at whatever leverage you have running cannot exceed, if it's 10x, this can't be more than 10%. If you have it at 5x, can't be greater than 20%, right? You can have 4 bots, 5% each, whatever. Total cannot be more than 20%. If you have it at 20x, it cannot be more than 5%. So you can run 2 bots at 2.5%. You can run 5 bots, 1%. If it's 50x, balance cannot be greater than 2%. That means you can have 1 bot at 2%. You can have 2 bots at 1% each. You can have 4 bots at 0.5% each. If you have it at 100x, the balance cannot, the total percent to be used by the bot cannot exceed 1%. You can have 1 bot running a 1% usage. You can have 2 bots running 0.5%. You can have 4 bots running 0.25%, whatever, right? So that is what it's going to have to be there. I'll go ahead and leave this at 50x here. Maximum amount for bot usage is going to be $22. So it's going to be fine and dandy. Now everything, remember, is going to be the same. As far as safety orders and shit goes. Right here, we're just going to go ahead and use a market so that we can get shit filled really quickly. I think I do want to, I don't really want to make a long bot right now. I don't know. Price dropped pretty far away from that for now, but yeah, alright, whatever. We'll do the short bot. Or we'll do the long bot so we can avoid liquidation. So here we can see our base order size is going to be way smaller than that. We'll just go ahead and put on here $10. Oh, it's too small. So a minimum amount for this exchange is going to have to be $20. We'll ante up and we'll go 25. Alright, so we're not going to open new trade ASAP. We're going to be looking for... okay, so on futures it gives us different options here. Great, so this is going to be Bollinger Bands, percent. Here's a 1% multiplier, 2% multiplier. Both of those can stay the same. TA presets. Cool, so there's a bunch of different options here. Ooh, MACD cross, that's nice. SMA 20 crosses 50. So there's a bunch of different options here. So spot options are going to be different than futures options. So we'll just go ahead and use if RSI is, okay, RSI we'll do on the, what time frame is this? Cool. So that's the 1 hour time frame. So it should pop on right there if it's less than 30, which means it's oversold. Then we're going to go ahead and look for a position to buy. So RSI, 1 hour less than 30. Okay, so perfect. We can add different conditions here too. Remember, we can add all kinds of different ones. We can even add our custom trading view alert. So right here for our take profit target, what we're going to want to do is keep this really, really small and use 0.05. Because 0.05 with leverage is going to be quite a bit of move. It's going to be 50x leverage, so it's not really going to be too hard to make profits off of this or get that target filled. So whatever you can afford to use here is going to be better for that, but it's not going to be hard to get this filled at all. And you can set this up in different ways. I literally have a video showing how this bot was set up. I set it up a long time ago, and I made variations of it since then. So our max safety orders count, that's 10. We'll put this to 1 point. Okay, that was 1.25. And then our safety order volume scale is going to be 1.94 to 1.25. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to see how high we can get this now with the balance here. All right, I think 1.3 is going to be fine. All right, so we'll change that up to 10. And then we'll look at our table here. 33% deviation is going to be 19% to get out. All right. Change that to 1.2. There we go. 13% to get out. All right, so here we can see it doesn't really take that much to wiggle out in the early stages of running into safety orders, which is why we want to have that so small. So it's 0.05%. Hopefully we can scrape off of that, and whenever we do start filling safety orders, it's going to be easier to get that filled with such a small take profit target. So this is, you could set up your bots all kinds of different ways. This is just one way to set up a bot. This is a futures bot, and it's going to be a little bit different from a spot bot. At least in my book, I would run it a little bit different. And remember guys, all this stuff, the settings down here again, we'll say if price drops below 20k, we don't want to start any new deals. If we're in a deal, we'll finish it, but we won't start any new ones. And then same thing, 22,000. So there we go. So we'll run over the leverage. I mean, you can rewind this video to watch that again and get the full detail of it, but we'll just say it again really quick. At 5x, no more than 20% of your funds. Sorry. At 5x, no more than 20% of your funds can be used. At 10x, no more than 10%. At 20x, no more than 5%. At 50x, no more than 2%. At 100x, no more than 1%. And you can pretty much proportional all the way through. So you can do the math to figure out exactly how much percentage you're going to be used. But that's just an easy way to, those are easy guidelines to stick by in a long scenario where you're not going to be liquidated. And so there we go. We'll go ahead and create that bot, start it up, and boom, bada boom, bada bing. So anytime on the 1H, that the RSI is less than 30, over 30 right now. Looks like it's at 31.97. Anytime on the 1 inch that the RSI is less than 30, that bot will initiate. So, you can, based upon what kind of triggers you have, you can set a bot to run for a long time. You can use a scout bot with an open trade ASAP. So you can capitalize. Like if you had started at the beginning of this move here, this would have been pretty solid because there's a lot of percentage deviation here. And if you had a short bot, you just turned on right at the rip of that, you've got a lot of deals closed out now, and you'll be looking to turn it off. So there's a lot of different ways to trade with bots, more than just the 2 bots that I've created here for you today. We can sit here and create bots all afternoon. Well, it's my afternoon now. We can create bots all afternoon, I promise you. But that's all we're going to talk about today. Guys, I promise you, on this very channel right here, Daily Crypto channel, you can go and find how to, so if there was something that you didn't quite didn't quite capture, that is kind of leaving you confused, you can ask a question right now in the comments. I'll check through them in just a second. If you have any other questions or you want to learn more about the bots in detail, just go check out some of the playlists I have. If you want to learn more about 3COMMAS, I didn't show you how to connect your exchange. I didn't show you the dashboard. I didn't show you the Smart Trade Terminal. We actually talked about Smart Trade Terminal, I think 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago we talked about the Smart Trade Terminal, but I got all those playlists on my channel if you want to learn more about 3COMMAS. And let me take a look at those comments now. What we got? And yeah, it says, please explain short and long bot again in spot bot. Sure, bud. So we'll come back over here, and it should be in my enabled bots now. This is our DCA spot bot YouTube tutorial. So I'll go to the edit. I'm not going to edit this bot, but I'll go into here and just to show you what it looks like again. So remember, if we have long, actually I didn't even have to do that. I'll bring up over here this. So let me turn this off now. Give me one moment. All right, so if we're going long, then that means we're going to want to buy in here or wherever we're buying in at, and then we want to take profits above. So we're going to want to take profits at a higher level, and our safety orders are going to fill in here. Let's see. I'll put this quick. All right, so let's just say our safety orders are going to get filled here, and then maybe here, and maybe here. Whatever. We don't know where they're going to get filled. It's based upon the percentage that we put for our bot. So our buy price would be here, and we're looking to sell for a profit. If it goes down, then we're going to initiate safety orders. And if it's going to be a short bot, then if it were spot, we'd have to own the asset, which in this case would be Bitcoin. If it were a short bot, then it would try to take profits when price goes down. And if price goes up, it's going to use safety orders. Right? So after it fills these safety orders, then the take profit price is going to be reduced. Same thing if it were the other way for long. So short bot tries to make a profit. You sell the Bitcoin here, and then you rebuy it. The price keeps going up, you keep selling Bitcoin, and then rebuy once it deviates that average price. If it's a long, then these are going to be down here. If it's a long, it's going to try and take profits right here. And if price goes down, it's going to buy more. It's going to buy more. It's going to buy more until it reaches the average price to take profits. Is that good, Niaz? And then Boy Tamela says, do you think a long bot will be good because the market will retrace? For spot, long bots, can't really go wrong with them. It just takes time. As long as you don't pick an asset that is totally shit, it just takes time for that to be a profitable deal. If you're going to be in futures, it does matter because you don't want to be liquidated or don't spend too much time in a deal where you could be making profits elsewhere. And Nkobe says, greetings, guys. Nkobe, what's up, brother? Greetings, my man. He says, it's been a while. I've been working and I haven't been able to catch the live. Damn, bro. Well, this one, we already finished our presentation. We're in the Q&A section, though. So if you have a question you want to ask, sorry you didn't get to make the live streams sooner, man, or that you had to miss a couple of them, but I'm glad you got to come in to the end anyway. Say hello. What's up, brother? That's my boy Caesar. You need to come into the Discord, too. I've been missing you in there. I haven't seen you in the Discord. Excuse me, I'm gonna have to cough, I believe. Yeah, I've been feeling a little under the weather, man. Sweating, I was sweating in bed and whew, a little sick. But feeling better today anyway. Couldn't have to be here on the stream. Couldn't miss you guys. Couldn't cancel on y'all. Yeah, so if we have any other questions, I mean, I can I'll put myself back into the mainstream here, into the picture. Skip it boop. Oh man, where am I at? Oh, there I am. With cam. Alright. So now I'm back up top, back in the main frame. Alright, my fellas. Yeah, any questions, you know? Point to Mel says get well soon. I'll try, my dude. I'll try really hard. I don't want to be ill. So, you know, I hope that presentation made sense to you guys. That way you could figure out a little bit more about the DCA bots, what all the settings do. You know, there's a whole bunch of different ways you can make the bots. Don't trust the table. Just because it looks good on the table doesn't mean it's going to work in the market. You have to test a couple different things, see what bots you're comfortable with. If it's just going to be a DCA bot and it doesn't really, you know, have any custom deal start signals, you're going to need large safety order volume scales to be comfortably letting those bots run without maintenance. Or, you know, if you have a set trigger, if you have a channel that gets broken, you can send an alert for that, or, you know, whatever. The indicator, if you have nitrous bull, you could set it up for bull and bear calls. If you like the EMA crossover, you can set it up for the EMA crossover. If you like it when the RSI is less than 30, if you like it when the MACD crosses, whatever you like to trade with, you can set up your strategies to be automated. So it's wonderful. It's a wonderful tool. I love 3COMMAS. It's helped me come a long way. I've been using 3COMMAS for a long time, man, long time. And they have a badass affiliate marketing program too. So it's like you can make money through affiliate marketing with 3COMMAS as well, not just through the trading platform. It's badass. I'm making a video about the affiliate marketing platform soon, so that'll be up soon. Yeah. Oh, let me see here. What Mel says, it's just too much information for today. I have to rewatch it in the week. I know I was talking a little bit fast. I definitely understand the information really well. And whenever you're not in a live setting with someone, like if we're not in the Discord voice chat or something, it's hard to like stop, look back and forth at the comments. But yeah, I know it was a lot of information. Thanks for sticking through it at least. And maybe rewatch it once or twice. You can learn what the settings do and then set up a bot or two for yourself. You know, like I said, I showed two configurations today. You can literally change them any different way to get any different deviations or take profits out of the market. So, you know, you just have to look at what the market's giving you. Don't just try and set up a bot all random as fuck. Like, you have to understand what the market's doing and why you're setting up that bot. If the market's falling, okay, I'm setting up a bot because I'm setting up a short bot because the market's falling. If the market's pumping, I'm setting up a long bot because the market's pumping. You can have a bot that you know does well in pumps. Like, for example, I have one bot configuration that I put in different coins, Bitcoin and altcoins. And when there's a breakout coming, like a wedge or, you know, something like this, you know, this isn't the best example, but whatever. I'm just trying to show an example. This isn't even a wedge. This is like a channel. Sorry. Anyway, whenever I see like a wedge coming, I will put for the breakout. Like right here, this is kind of a wedge. We'll just use this one. All right, yeah. So if I see a wedge on an asset, I have like a pump bot or whatever, you know, I call it. So if it's gonna break down or if it's gonna break up, I know I can turn on the short bot for it to break down and the long bot for it to break up. So whenever I see a wedge formation like this, I know there's gonna be some type of reaction. If it breaks up, I'll turn off the short bot, let the long bot ride. If it breaks down, turn off the long bot, let the short bot ride. Because the long bot will close out once it fills those safety orders and gets that pump back in, right? And you just let it go from there. So, you know, there's a bunch of different ways to, totally a lot of different ways to make use of bot trading. Not just the couple configurations I showed you today. So I really advise that you know, get in there and immerse yourself into it. That way you can get ahead because the shit's cool. You know, the bots, once you get them set up right, they make money for you all the time passively, and then you just reinvest the money back into the bots. So, you know, keeps making money for you in the background. It doesn't doesn't seem like a lot of money at first if you don't have a lot of capital. It's just a couple cents. But in the long run, it definitely adds up, and you'll be able to see lots of profits. You just keep compounding the bots, keep reinvesting the profits back to the bots. Don't start spending money crazy, nothing like that. Witchmelon says, understood. Try to understand the market. Yeah, just a little bit of TA. You don't have to be the TA expert when it comes to bots, but the better you are at TA, the more you can refine your bots, for sure. If you see the market's going down, though, set up a short bot. If you see the market's going up, set up a long bot. It's not that difficult. But if you do have some really good TA skills and you can chart patterns and different market structures, then you can definitely fine tune your bots to start deals and stop deals for any condition. So, all right, fellas, I guess that's going to be all for this one. Double salute. Thank you all for coming out. I don't have any events scheduled right now for next week for YouTube, but I promise you I'm going to get those events scheduled in on Monday. So if you're in the Discord or if you got me on social media, I'll post about it. And if you are subscribed to the channel, you should get a notification. It's going to be next Friday around the same time. I promise you there's going to be a stream 1 week from today, either at, I think, 18 UTC or 17 UTC. One of those times. But I'll get it scheduled up on Monday, okay? Promise you that. Alright, boys. I'm gonna fuck with you. Oh, wait. Sure, you still haven't uploaded the video you promised. Oh, man. I know exactly what video you're talking about. And I promise you, I'm gonna get it uploaded. That's the one for... See, because what had happened with that is I was gonna speak so highly of Crypto.com. And then they started fucking me, dude. I've been living off Crypto.com for... In 2021, I got like $1,700 cash back, and then that was like a full year, my first full year with them. So I've been using Crypto.com since 2020. I lived off of it the entire year of 2021, and that's what the video is going to be about. But, I was going to speak highly of them, but here recently, they've been doing me kind of dirty, so I've been documenting that and adding it into the video. So let me see, I just took another one today because I transferred, see, this is from today. I don't know if you can see that. Today. See, I transferred 1 ETH. And the sell price was like... Yeah, the sell price was 1626 for 1.01 ETH. 1626. And then whenever I went to sell it to them to top up my card, they wanted to offer me 1571. And that's not the first time. It's happened with different cryptocurrencies. And it even I think they've been doing some sneaky shit that I'm trying to catch them doing before I post this badass video of me speaking so highly of them. Now, regardless, I definitely did live off of them all in 2021, and that part of the video is going to stay the same. But I do have to put in there some other notes so that people don't just flock to Crypto.com. It is the most the most popular in the world as far as the debit card services go, which is what I'm going to talk about, how I convert crypto to fiat through the Crypto.com platform. But, yeah, got to work that out real quick. So I promise you I'll get that, Mr. Boytamello. Oh, and then he says, so you can use an indicator on a bot. Yeah, like the nitrous bull, exactly. Yep. And then it can get fit. Yep, exactly, bro. So if you set it up on the 4H, I've found that the 4H and the daily time frames are the most profitable for nitrous bull. Now, you definitely run into some losing positions, but statistically, over back tests, if you set it to the 4-hour or the 1-day bull call for the bot, it's going to do really well. Yes, you can absolutely do that. And Niaz says, what about exchange fees with multiple orders through bots? So the exchange fees are calculated by the bot algorithm. So let me see if I just put that back over here real quick. I'll go into the corner. Yeah, so if you put a for right here, let's just say that the take profit goal is going to be 0.45%. That's what I want. So then it's going to add the fees for the buy and selling at the end of the transaction. For our first transaction, it's going to account for, if it's on Huobi, I don't know what exactly the fee is, but if it's like 0.1% for a buy and sell fee, then the total distance that's going to have to move is 0.65%. So whatever the buy and sell fees are, right, it's going to go on top of your desired take profit target. So if I wanted the total distance to move to be 0.45, then I would put this to 0.25. Because now I know that with the exchange fees, the total distance is going to be 0.45. So if I want 0.45, total distance is going to have to be 0.65. Right? And some exchanges, you know, I think Binance doesn't have spot fees for BTC, so you don't have to worry about that. I think Binance also doesn't have spot fees for Ethereum. So if you have Binance, you can trade Bitcoin and Ethereum without fees. A couple other exchanges offer no fees on spot trading for Bitcoin as well. But if your exchange does have a fee, just know that it's going to add it to the beginning and the end, which is basically whatever the fee is. If it's a 0.2% buy fee and a 0.2% sell fee, you add that right here, and that means the distance is going to have to be 0.85%. All right. Cool. Hope that makes sense for you, Mr. Niaz. I'll bring this back in front here, and I'll go back to the middle now. All right. Cool. And now I'll chunk deuce to y'all. So thanks again, everyone, for coming out. I appreciate it. If you got here late, you can rewatch this. There's some really good information. And if you want even more, I got more playlists on my channel. So just visit the channel, hit the subscribe button if you want. We're going to be doing a giveaway at 2.5 subs, which I don't know how many subscribers I have right now. Let me check. Oh, fuck. Oh, let me see. It's not loading. Where's the YouTube? Alright. I don't know how many subs I have, but we're coming really close to 2.5K subs, and we're going to be having an awesome giveaway. We're going to be giving away Litecoin, tablet to trade on, and two 1 month subscriptions to 3COMMAS. So 2 different people are going to get a month of 3COMMAS. Not one person gets 2 months. I'm trying to see how many fucking subs I have. 2,390. We have 2,390 subscribers. We need 110 more subscribers. So if you have, brother, sister, mother, cousin, father, aunt, dog, make your dog a YouTube account. Have them sign up for me. Your goldfish. Not everyone has a dog these days. So yeah, sign up and subscribe. And whenever we get 2.5K subs, you better come to that stream because we're gonna be giving some shit away. It's gonna be my biggest giveaway yet. Honestly, it's not that great. I know it's not no Mr. Beast status, but it's my biggest giveaway yet, and I hope to see you there. So cheers, fellas. I'll see you in the next one.